and welcome to Life on the Movement Pod with me, Simi Drey. Now, one thing I love is food. Oh my goodness, I cannot get enough of it. And Naija food bangs, whether it's amala, iwedu, jollof rice, haters can hate, eba and egusi. Ooh, my mouth just drools thinking about those finger-licking dishes. So today we have two culinary maestros who cook up storms even Nara Smith would be jealous of. Please welcome the one and only Gina and Ifi Mogeku. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing great. Hi,
I'm so
Simi.
excited. Hearing you describe all those meals, I was like, oh my God, I feel like eating them now.
That's why I hate going on your pages, because I'm just like, and then I keep on scrolling. I'm like, do I want to eat cucumber soup today? Do I want to eat this tomorrow?
Yeah.
Like your children, your husbands, everybody is enjoying in your household.
You can say that again.
Yeah, I will say that again.
That's one of the advantages, right? They're spoiled for choice because we always want to try new things, make new things. So the household and people who eat it, they know that they can never get bored. With food, ever.
Please, your bride prices just went up again. But how did you get into, the food industry?
Okay. First, I studied law. She was going to tell you that as well. She did study law.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah. So, but I started working in media. Almost immediately, I left law school and I started as the legal officer, then rose to corporate development. And from there, I just kept moving from one department to the other. I learned production. But before getting to that point, I always loved TV and I wanted to be on TV. And TV production is expensive. And by the time I found myself in another production company, I decided to start Foodies and Spice, which was going to be an easier TV production rather than doing maybe a talk show like that of Oprah or movies that were more expensive. So I just started with the cooking show Foodies and Spice. And, from one TV channel, we are on about 15 TV channels right now for the past 11 years.
Yeah. So when you decided to do, your cooking channel, was it like an easy decision for you? Because I feel like there's one thing knowing how to cook. There's another thing knowing how to cook professionally with the presentation, everybody watching, people judging.
So I just said a very quick story earlier because it was a journey.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like a one-day thing to the point where it started. My dad had to even die before, that wake-up call, like, babe, you have been keeping this line for so long. What are you waiting for? You make a decision that, okay, I do not work. I don't want to work for more than 5 years in a corporate environment before I start my own production company. But you find yourself there 6 years, moving to another company and spend 5 years, nothing to remind you because you are comfortable.
You're comfortable, yeah.
You have a car, they give you a driver.
And the salary is coming every month.
The salary is coming, they loan you, you are just comfortable. But when my dad died, it was like the wake-up call, like there's nothing waiting for you. So you have to make that decision. So it's an uncomfortable decision to make when you decide to take responsibility for an idea. So it wasn't that easy at all. I had the challenge of having the right broadcast partner, getting them to agree and partner with you on very fair terms. So I had to take that decision at some point, regardless of what the stumbling blocks may be. I had to accept to terms that people right now might see as seemingly what kind of decision is that. But I got to that point where I knew you had to start somehow. If you don't start, you just keep taking your time and waiting for the right time, and that right time never really comes. And those from our generation, we know how to weather storms, really. So I just jumped into it, and it got better as the day went by. Started from TV, social media came, and you just have to look for that social media space for yourself as well. And we just kept doing it. So I'm still doing it till
Love it. If you, what about you? So a background in law as well.
Yeah. I wish I was as intentional as Gina, having come out of law school, planning, TV. Nah, I mean, I practiced law for well over 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I did. So while I was there, it was just law at the time. But the passion for food had always been burning, So along the line, I was like, hey, I've got so much. I want to show, what really happened was so many people were always asking me, what can I make for dinner? What can I make for lunch? And I'm like, if my friends or my immediate circle have this challenge, right, then people all over the world clearly have it, but they have no one to talk to or to ask. So why don't I start sharing videos, recipes, so everyone can benefit from it? And it was the best decision of my life, really. It was not intentional, but I started doing it. And then I found out that I started having so many followers. People were very excited. And I'll say I started sharing videos on Instagram. Many people were just sharing pictures at a time. Yeah. And then I started sharing videos and then people caught on because people were enjoying it. And so, it just started from Instagram. I moved on to YouTube, Facebook, all social media platforms. And there's no going back. TV, I'm now on TV as well. And yeah, it just keeps getting better. So that was how I got into, sharing my culinary experience and, sharing it with people.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So did anything in your childhood influence the way you cook, the recipes you make? Some people say they have recipes handed down from their grandparents or great-grandparents. Is there anything?
Yeah. So I grew up in a small town called Agbo in Delta State. I was actually born there. And in my town, parents or mothers need to pride about how they have trained their child to cook. So they actually even donate us every weekend. Like, okay, one auntie is getting married. You all have to go cook. It's not like these days that they have caterers. There were no caterers. So it's your aunties, daughters, and nieces, and everybody that goes there. People start by washing plates, washing cooler, peeling yams, pounding. So you really need to be sort of domesticated so that you don't shame your parents. So they start all that teaching from the house. So once you are 8 years old, really, you start learning how to cook. And, when the mothers gather together, they want to, tell their friends, let me go home. My daughter has made the soup. And, so we just learned how to cook. It's something all of us learn. And, Agbo is a metropolitan that houses a lot of people from other cultures. It's in Delta State. It's surrounded by people in Edo, people in the East, Onisha, and all that. So you just find yourself that maybe your neighbor is an Igbo woman or there's a Bini woman that is your neighbor. And those days, life was communal. Yeah, so you can easily be friends with everybody and you learn their cooking. So I tell people today, I didn't learn everything I'm doing on Foodies and Spice from only my home. My grandmother was a fantastic cook. I remember the day we were burying her, everybody was crying, oh, the food. She was quite old, so all those big men that ate her food, because they will cook those days and tell people, come and eat. So regardless of whose child you are. So I learned very well from her, and those are like traditional dishes. Some things that are looking like they are extinct these days, you might not even find. So that's why when you come on Foodies and Spice, you see a lot of traditional soups, dishes where we're like soup people. We don't eat rice more than once a week. This is a very honest statement. That's if you eat it at all. So it's soup and swallow, soup and swallow, soup and swallow. Hence, I have a lot of soup recipes. So, but your neighbor could be a Bini woman, and she's sharing a Bini version of Owo soup. There is an Igbo woman that is sharing Oha. So you learn from all these people, and it helps me today. Sometimes I just sit down, you remember, maybe you just perceive something and remember, oh, I've tasted something that smells like this, and you start remembering. You can go back and research something I ate so many years ago. And of course, because we are into the food business now, we do a lot of research. We find them out and we put them out there.
Yeah.
So what influenced my decision was seeing my mom during traditional events or festivals. the way she would cook with so many fresh vegetables, ingredients, everyone in the neighborhood will come, they'll eat, they'll enjoy her food. And my mom's pepper soup was to die for. Ooh! And the way she makes her moi moi. So, I'd watch her and everyone would enjoy the food. And I was like, okay, let me, start learning how to, of course, as the first girl, I had to learn how to cook. But what made me was not just her teaching me or making sure I would learn how to cook. It was the joy in her making these dishes with all these fresh and beautiful ingredients. And then at the end of the day, the result, people eating it with so much joy and happiness. I felt like, okay, so food could give this much joy, happiness, comfort, I'm going to start cooking so people could feel this way too. People, when they eat my mom's food, feel so much love. Let me cook like that as well. And maybe people would be happy and experience all these good things when I cook. So that was what influenced it. And then, just showing and sharing my skills with the whole world, basically. Yeah, so that influenced my learning how to cook. And now I just want to show everybody and teach them what I know. So they too can cook and share love and happiness to everybody.
Yeah. So one thing I've noticed about the two of you is that sometimes you actually take, viral trends and you test them out yourself and give
definitely.
reviews.
Yeah.
For example, the viral cucumber soup, because we know the price of tomatoes is it's not friendly.
No, it isn't.
So both of you tried the viral cucumber soup.
Yeah.
And both of you said it was good.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, before
Beautiful.
I saw the reviews on your page, I was very skeptical about it because I was like, cucumber. And now I'm willing to try it. But on the topic of, giving reviews, a couple of months back, there was an issue where a particular person gave a review about a tomato brand, tomato paste brand.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a full-on review. She just said it was sweet and ended up in prison.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts about this? Do you think that, food connoisseurs should be able to give their full-on opinions on certain brands?
Well,
Yes.
I think not just food connoisseurs or anybody, I feel everyone. So far, you are a customer, you make use of this ingredient or material, food stuff, whatever it is, we should all be allowed to give reviews. Because when you give reviews, negative reviews, of course, positive and negative, but negative should be allowed as well, because when you give negative reviews, you let people know what they're up against. People know whether they want that or they don't want it. It also helps the manufacturers to know how to make their products better. Take this feedback, improve upon it, and then you make your products more acceptable to the general public. Talking about what happened in that tomato paste, honestly, I do not approve of how it's been handled. What she said, it's too sweet, but it could have been better handled. Okay, you feel it's too sweet. Then they go back to their drawing board, and then tweak one or two things and then come out and say, I don't know, PR will take care of all of that, but not saying, well, we all know how it has been handled. I believe it could have been handled better. And now what they've done is to stifle our voices. It almost feels that way. So people are scared to come out to talk lest they end up in prison. And this shouldn't be the case. Take the negative feedback, improve upon your product, and let everyone know you've improved and people will come for it. That's it. Nobody's in prison. Everybody's happy. You're making more money.
I always feel if you are a product or a brand and you are in the people's space, there is really no negative feedback, so to say. I have brands. Like I said, I've been on the space for long and I've worked with almost all the FMCGs in Nigeria. And they come up with products and send me products for review before they put it in the market. And I would sample them, give it out to people. There's a questionnaire. Please fill this form for this. But they don't even pay me. But they believe that my voice and people that I know, when they test out those brands, I can now send it back to them before they continue. Noodles, custards, they send it to you first to use. And that's because they want to better their brand. The second year of Foodies and Spice, I decided to start doing travel stories. So I'll take my time, go to other countries and just to find out what the food space is like there. And I met a certain Jean-Pierre Zeradakis in Bordeaux, France. And what's his job? How did he become popular? Just reviewing. He's a fantastic TV host, has a Michelin five-star restaurant, but he became popular by doing those reviews on hotels, brands, like as long as it's food. So you do not have anything negative. If someone says, oh, this thing is very sugary, what do you do with your team? You can't force things down people's throats. You take it. You sample other people's opinion. What do you guys think? So you can, even in this day and age, that you don't need to pay so much for PR and all that because you probably have a social media handle that people can watch you from. You sample. If you don't want to even use food bloggers because you say, okay, their money will be much. Ordinary women outside that cook. Sit down. Sample it. Do you like it? Do you like it? Do you like it? Okay, I think it's too sugary. This is just fine for me. This is just fine for me. And by the time you take your reviews, if you need to improve on your product, you improve it. If you do not want to, probably because people say, oh, we like the sweetness like that, it becomes a unique selling point. And you tell them, oh, this is our brand is sweet. We made it specifically for jollof rice because it will bring out the best
those
taste
who like
of that.
Sweet
You understand?
Yeah.
The cucumber and watermelon review. You see, I had to, because everybody has been posting the cucumber, golden melon. I had to do a review video instead. Let's make it team golden melon, team cucumber. And you find out that there were people who preferred golden melon to cucumber. And you do not expect the taste of every tomato paste to be the same. So if your own is sweeter, it's either your unique selling point or you go work on it. So whoever advised
the brand,
courts,
the brand,
police, jail was a very wrong advisor. And I honestly think this lady should get justice. I do not know how her lawyers are teaming up, but I see a lot of things that her lawyers can do to get justice for everything that she has been through. So far.
Then I also feel the way they handled it has taken away lots of goodwill from, people. Don't let me go too personal, but I know a few people who have told me that they would go to the supermarket and see that product and then they'll look away instantly. Because the only thing at the back of their mind is how they reacted to that criticism or that review with the term negative. So I don't know how it has impacted their bottom line, but trust me, they've lost some customers.
Yeah. And to be honest, someone like me, for example, I'd never even heard about the brand until the review came out. But after the things that have happened, I don't know if I want to try it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to try it.
Yeah.
It also makes me think about the way the rest of the world looks at Nigeria, because this story actually made news abroad. And I saw the comments on social media from, people in Europe, America, and they're like, what on earth is going on?
Yeah.
Like, you're living in a democracy, not a communist country. Like, what is Nigeria,
So even if it's a communist country, this isn't even a government product. That you say, okay, they don't want you to talk about the product. This is a private company, and it's I have seen companies call back batches. We see it all the time abroad that, someone has complained of something, they check it out and they call back batches. That's to show that you care about your customers.
Exactly.
So this particular thing should have been handled as care for customers. Oh, auntie, you don't like it. If they don't agree with her, sample opinion. Everybody come. Try out this thing.
Yeah.
Do you like? Do you like? Do you not like? And if you have more, we like. That's when you put your PR and ads to work. And you use it as your unique selling point. If you have enough we don't like, then you guys go back to the drawing board. Okay, what have we done wrong with this space? Probably it's not aligning with these people's taste board. Maybe they want it a more tangy, or they want, you just
more
change.
savory
And then
of
you
sweet.
say new improved. So and so. I don't know why they put new improved on all these products.
Exactly.
New improved.
Yeah.
So it went extremely too far on the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And, when you do look at, other brands, I know McDonald's has been under scrutiny in the past,
How many
Subway,
times?
etc. And they just adapt to people's opinions and people's tastes, and they're still successful.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lie, every time I travel, it's like, let's grab a burger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No.
But speaking about like other issues we've been dealing with in Nigeria, I mean, in Lagos, we had a cholera, or we're having a cholera outbreak, which is so scary for me. So, I mean, like the local food industry is a big part of like
it is
the industry in Nigeria, the food industry in Nigeria. But is there any like proper regulation for, self-proclaimed chefs or food manufacturers?
Yeah.
Any real regulation? And I ask this because, and on the flip side, apart from the cholera outbreak, we're still dealing with fake products in the market. Like even if you go to a licensed supermarket, you don't know if what you're buying is real or fake.
Yeah.
Okay, good you brought that up because I actually made a video last week that I've been finding time to talk about on social media, but one thing or the other I've been stopping it. And when they said there's an outbreak and you guys are giving us numbers like on a daily, 70 dead, that is something dead and all that. And I look around as a citizen of a particular state and I'm not saying they're not working to stop it, but what's happening around our environment. I was driving the other day, and this is something I noticed the very first time I came to Lagos so many years ago. And I realized they try to clear the drainage, especially during rainy season. And when they clear the drainage during rainy season, they pack the dirt on the road. And you are now waiting for, do they pay them half money to clear the drainage and nobody is coming, no truck is coming to carry.
Remove it.
You understand? And the rain falls and sends everything
washes it right back
into the drainage.
Yeah.
Now, for a time like this that you are telling us there's cholera, I don't want to call the government because I know everybody's trying, but whoever is involved, when you clear a drainage like that, this was like around a marketplace, I saw it. The drainage is everywhere. We claim that it's flies that perch cholera or carry cholera and perch food. We have meat around there. We have perishables like fruits. We have probably restaurants somewhere.
Yeah.
And that drainage is there.
Yeah.
What exactly? Oh, the dirt from the drainage are there, out there, and you're like, what exactly is going on?
And
Who
even just
is
like
in
the
charge?
education, because
Understand?
driving around yesterday, I saw some people sitting by the gutter eating.
They are eating.
Yeah.
So who is in charge that packs this thing from the drainage and forgets to put it in a truck to go dump it somewhere that they should dump it? Who is in charge?
Yeah, apart from that, Simi, you did ask if there was regulation or regulatory bodies responsible for this roadside people, the food industry, like, I mean, how many people do they want to regulate? We have many food hawkers who, I don't know if you've seen them, they'll be in wheelbarrows with their coolers and they're selling food
on their head.
So even if you come today and you clear them away from here, you come, the regulatory bodies, to see if they're keeping by the rules, whatever, they carry their wheelbarrow and they move to point B. I don't know how we can contain this. It's a big problem. I don't know how the regulatory bodies can clamp down on these people to know how their hygiene level is going to be really, really hard and tough, but they should at least try.
Now,
then we heard about, the tiger nuts drink.
Yeah.
They're saying so many people who landed in the hospital had
that
tiger nut drink, but they couldn't trace it. They tried, but they couldn't because there was no address and what. But I've been waiting to hear what else has happened. I've been waiting to see, we went to this factory. We closed this factory down. At least let that be a sort of leverage for you to, just something for you to know that if we can't find this tiger nut company, there are many other companies like this making Zobo, making tiger nut drink. Go and close them. Let's see what you're doing to stop these people who don't have NAFDAC authorization or the regulatory stamp of approval on them. I haven't seen anything. I just see numbers, like she says, 500 people today, 20 are dead, blah, blah. But what's going on? I don't know.
Yeah, so, when it comes to big cities like Lagos, people are always on the road, walking, hustling. So big cities all over the world, you always find people hawking and, So, but I believe that when there is an outbreak like this, we might not have to leave it to these individuals because everybody's still going to go search for their daily bread.
Yeah.
So if we start, and because I know in my head that somebody is collecting salary monthly for environmental cleanliness. I don't know. My head just tells me that there's a ministry somewhere that is in charge of that cleanliness. We want to see them on the road. We want to see all those heaped down things from the drainage out. We want to see that people's dustbin or wherever they throw stuff out is being collected. If we're collecting maybe once a week, now that there's cholera, maybe they're collecting every three days, And when people see all of that happening, individuals will say, something serious is going on.
Yeah.
So even on their own, they will begin to regulate themselves because they now believe that something serious is going on. Not them just reading things, or probably some of them don't even read. So they don't even know how many are down. They don't even know. So when nothing is happening, nobody believes you.
Until then, my people, I beg.
Wash
Stop
your
buying
hands.
food outside, though.
Wash your
First.
hands.
All those cut fruits from Malam, yes. I know you want to see your red watermelon before you buy it, because you don't want to buy a full watermelon, then you open it and it's white, or I know you want that red one, but please just stop for now. Buy your watermelon. Stop eating food outside. Wash your hands. Make sure your fruit, vegetables. You know all the precautions now.
There should be a lot of sensitization.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And this sensitization, sometimes, action, what was that? Action, what was the word? People should help me. When people see action, they know that something is going on. Now, action, I don't forget.
Well, just explain
action
it.
speaks louder than
Louder
words.
than what? Is that what you want? Yes.
Oh, God.
Action speaks louder than words. So you're not talking on TV, talking or writing. Let them see that everybody is walking
Go to the
out,
streets.
packing things out. And, even the aboki that is selling the watermelon, when he sees that, everybody is packing and cleaning stuff, he too, he doesn't want to die. You understand? So he's going to.
But
start
people
selling
did not
himself.
care about COVID. That they said was killing people in thousands. Is it cholera?
No, we care. Nobody wants to die. No matter how this thing
You're
is,
right about the COVID
hard.
thing. You're right. Provisions was even an issue. Distributing the provisions was an issue.
Let's not even go there.
Partying, clubbing.
A lot of things were done during COVID. Everybody stay at home. But yet people disregarded it. Is it now cholera? That I even asked my mom, does it kill? Say yes, it kills. But what's the survival rate? You can survive. Don't worry.
But
it's bad. And I don't know how serious people are taking it, but sensitization is really, really key. Maybe talk to food bloggers while they're putting out the recipe. Let people keep knowing, because a lot of people watch food videos. Tell them, stop doing this, do this. And even without government coming to tell us, I think we should take it upon ourselves to even start almost every day. Let people know until this outbreak dies off.
Yeah, I agree. And my grandmother used to say that back in her time, like, they actually took this cleanliness really seriously.
Yes.
That if the outside of your property was messy, you would get in trouble. You'd be fined, or there'll be some repercussions
I was
for
saying
it.
the other day on social media, I've forgotten what discussion it was, but I had to comment. It was a very beautiful time in those days, environmental sanitation days.
Every Saturday morning.
Or maybe I think it was one Saturday in a month or something.
One Saturday every month. True.
And it was a beautiful way to bond with your neighbors. It's not now that you just wake up and everybody starts rushing to the island to go and walk. Everybody just come back in the night and you don't even know your neighbors. On Saturday, you just want to sleep all day because you are tired from walking up and down during the week. But when you all come out and I'm clearing my drainage, this person is clearing the grass. Hi, hello, your neighbors, you greet your neighbors, you guys familiarize. But they don't do that anymore. And I don't know why they stopped that whole sanitation thing. So apart from the cleanliness, they also help you guys bond. You know your neighbors.
Yeah. Well, we do have to wrap up, but before we do, what would you say is the one misconception about Nigerian food that people have, especially people outside Nigeria or outside Africa?
They'll say it's too spicy. Nigerian food is spicy. People eat a lot of pepper. I can never try it. Well, that's not true. The good thing about it is you can always adjust it to your own spice level, you know. And then apart from that, we have so much. Forget the spicy or the spiciness. No, we have variety in Nigeria. We have spices, seasonings that you can use to make your food taste so good. And the way Gina would cook jollof rice is definitely different from the way a Yoruba person would cook jollof rice. Well, not jollof rice. Let's say any egusi soup, for instance. Because of the spices she has, an evil girl will put a Yoruba person. So the same dish, you can have variety, you know. So we've got our taste, then we have our vegetables. We have fresh vegetables here. You can make your food taste so good. So forget the misconception of our food is too hot, too spicy. Let's focus on the positive part of Nigerian food. And please, foreigners, come and eat our food. Very, very nice and fresh and beautiful. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think social media has really opened up our food to a lot of foreigners, and they are intrigued by what they see. So I wouldn't say misconceptions really, because these days they really want to try.
Yeah.
They are seeing things that they've never seen before. Some people just feel like Mediterranean food is like everybody should be eating. They have different setup, but truly, there's so much here in Africa. There's so much in Nigeria. We have over how many tribes in this country? 200 and something, 370
lot.
something,
A
a
lot,
lot.
yeah.
And every single tribe has more than 10 things to showcase. So we can't exhaust it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even those of us that are food bloggers doing this for years, we are still finding out things. So that's one reason I love the social media space. So
Yeah.
Another
definitely.
misconception that I have is that our food is heavy on carbs.
yeah.
I agree, yeah, to an extent, but we still, you can still eat food, Nigerian food. For instance, acha, fonio, acha. How many people know of that superfood, right? It's not so...
Most of us Nigerians don't even know it, but the people in like my nanny, my kid's nanny is from the north.
Ah,
And
okay.
they actually farm acha.
Acha.
I've never
So
even
they
heard
eat
of
it, they
acha.
farm
Really?
it. So,
Yeah.
so those of
It's a
us,
superfood.
I
You
did not
should- you
know
should
about
get it.
acha until like probably 10 years ago because of food blogging and TV. You get, so there's so much, those of us Nigerians, we don't even still know about our food.
Contains more fiber than oats, than brown rice. It is lower in calories
Oh, wow.
than quinoa, than, all these are
Sesame
foods that
seed.
people
We have
eat,
a lot of
know?
sesame seeds here, but most people know it as Benny seed. So when you say Benny seed, they know it. When you say sesame seed, because it's Oyibo that says sesame seed, they're looking at it as something. So, but you can use sesame seed to cook a goosey soup. You can use it to do a lot of things that other people do with the sesame seed. And ours are, because they've not added GMO and everything.
Exactly.
It's still very organic and
Exactly.
healthy. Yeah.
And I definitely believe that organic food, even if it's carb intensive, is still healthier than GMOs and all sorts of chemicals that you would put in your body. Ladies, thank you so much. It's been great having you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, just, to add on to what you said about spicy food. Like you mentioned before, there are over 200 different tribes in Nigeria, and many of them do complain that Yorubas in particular like to put too much pepper in their food. So there's just so much to try. There's so much variety. But ladies, thank you so much. It's been incredible.
But just before we go, can I quickly say something? If you are watching, there's a food crisis in Nigeria right now, and we cannot deny it. I don't know how the government is going to help with this. There are lots of root causes that people have talked about, but I think it's time we all think of some sort of
farming in your own house,
in your environment. Yeah. You can plant in your pots. You can recreate gardens anywhere, no matter how small. You can plant pawpaw if that's what your compound can take, because I just heard now that they are still making pawpaw stew.
Pawpaw jollof rice.
Pawpaw jollof rice.
Heard of those?
I haven't heard of that.
Pawpaw stew in the 90s. So, but I didn't know they used to use unripe pawpaw. Now they're using unripe pawpaw and it's working. So anything at all you can plant, vegetables, water leaf, these ones are very easy to grow, so that this whole food crisis will not overwhelm us.
Yeah, it is
idea.
bad. Thank you for that piece of advice as we do close. And it's like very, very timely because, bruh, the prices, oh my goodness, I can't even, they're choking. They're choking. But thank you once again. It's been incredible having you here. I'm still waiting for my own invitation to come to your houses to eat.
You are highly
You not just come and
invited.
eat, you come and cook.
Pressure. Guys, that brings us to the end of another fantastic episode of Life on the Movement Pod with me, Simi Drey. Please make sure you keep up to date with us on all our social media platforms. And please do like, follow, share, and of course, hit that subscribe button. Love you, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.